Hey yo, what's good everybody? Today we're back and I'm here to show you actually what's new in the latest Corners update. Now at the time of release, I don't think it's going to be out because there are still a few things that were because I'm the only developer, that I need to do, but I wanted to show some of the new features. Now, if you want to stay not spoiled, then don't watch the video, of course. But if you're curious about what's new, watch, and then if you want to experience it yourself, then go play the mod, because that's why I fucking made the thing. Okay, so I guess the first thing that we should say is that we're overhauling the communal corridors. Now, the last update moved to 1.20, updated internals, seasonal effects, hallways in the CC, more towels in the YC, and denser roads in the HC. Okay, so this update, 1.2.7, expands on 1.2.6. 1.2.6 was sort of the base for 1.2.7. Because it added the slabs, of course. And there's a reason why we did that, is because we had more rooms. Because of course this update is an overhaul to the communal corridors. Oh good, this is one of the new rooms. See, back when Chloe was building all of the communal quarters rooms, she made a set of 2-story ones, because I think the original plan was to have 2 stories, or at least, multiple floors, but at the time I didn't want to deal with that, and so I didn't. But now that it's been, however long, and the CC is getting kind of dull, we added it back. We brought the multiple stories back. And so this is one of the rooms that she originally built, with 2 floors. And the second floor is literally just the same as the first. It's the same kind of generation. It's not like you see the same rooms. Like, the room up here is a different room than the room down here, of course. And I think one of the other things that we added was, in the last update, we added hallways. But in this update, we have more rooms for said hallways. This is a room that I built. Chloe didn't build this one. I built that one. And one of our new builders, Craw, is working on building more 2-story rooms. Craw is also the one who built all of these rooms, all of the hallway rooms. Now, I recognize this room. Oh, and I know for a fact there's a hallway back here. And so the hallways are much fancier, I should say. And I think it was yesterday that these pots got an update in like the snapshot or whatever. And when the Corners moves to that version where, pots can have like inventories, I do want to have stuff in there. It probably won't be very useful, given how common pots are in this dimension. or in this corner rather. But I do want to have something in there because, you know, it would be nice. And of course, barrels have the bonus chest loot table. Another thing that we added in this version, let me see if I can find it. It's on the second story. Oh, that's right. The second floor doesn't generate above hallways because I wasn't planning on adding 2 stories. So when I told Craw, you know, the specifications for the build, the hallway builds, I didn't put a height limit on it. So now I sort of have to not have rooms where a hallway is to just, you know, be sure that that never becomes a problem. This is one of the rooms that I was looking for. In the second story and the second story alone, you'll find a room like this. Technically, it's a big room. It's a it is a one chunk room, 16 by 16. Forgot how big blocks were. And there's a staircase. And it goes up. And now this is not supposed to be like this, because there's supposed to be, you know, like this is supposed to be air, but it's a thing with how I store the NBTs. That'll be fixed, obviously. And I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this room because I don't know how I feel about the HC railings being in the communal corridors. I'm not sure if it fits the palette. I think Chloe thought it would. And, you know, I trust her artistic decisions more than I do mine. I mean, it's not like I don't trust my own artistic decisions. It's just, you know, she tends to be right. Even if I'm wrong. But anyway, so this will bring you to, you know, a second level. And then this is similar to the original communal corridors, except it's only maze. There's only mazes. It's all hallways. It's all mazes. And I think these have special, like, level 2 maze rooms, or at least it's different from the below communal corridors, at least. Like up here, it's a lot more studious, I guess is the right word. A lot more bookshelves, pots, candles, etc. More wardrobes. It's because Craw built most of these rooms, and, you know, Craw and Chloe have a different building style. Craw's more, I would describe as a traditional builder, you know. Like, you could see Craw building maps for servers and stuff. It's like a very slick professional look, while Chloe, not that she's like bad, but hers is more, how do I say, like, it's different. They both have their own merit. Chloe's great, Craw's great, they're both great. I'm extremely honored to have both of these people work on this mod. But anyways, in the second level of the communal quarters, there also exist these kinds of rooms, one that aren't hallways, ones that are big. And this is one of them. Fucking, when I told Craw to make some fun big rooms, you know, I told him, hey, why don't you play around with scale? I love scale. I think in liminal spaces, scale is one of the more interesting aspects, or, you know, it speaks to me more. And so when I told Craw to play with scale, he fucking went for it. It's crazy. Now, Craw built this room, and I don't think he originally planned for this room to actually generate in the dimension, but it's fucking beautiful, so fuck you. And that's probably because the doors don't line up, which, I mean, it's fine, right? Like this, you know, you'd see this and be like, hey, that's weird. But I don't care. Here's the thing. When designing the generation for these dimensions, you know, for the first three, the Yearning Canal, Communal Corridors, and the Hoary Crossroads, originally it was just, you know, Chloe and I. And, you know, I'd build out prototype rooms with, you know, the specifications that I need. Like, for instance, the Communal Corridors, you know, say this is a room, you know, where do you put the walls? Well, the walls always go in the back corner, so that when you know, line them up, it, you know, it always fits together. Because you can't account for everything, or at least not in the way that I'm doing generation. At least for the Communal Corridors, you can't account for everything. Because, you know, at the time I was doing very simple generation. The Communal Corridors is one of the more complex dimensions now, with, you know, 2 stories and then 2 levels and then mazes in both of those. It's like there's a lot going on for it. But when talking to Craw about these specifications for the second level, I didn't really have much of a plan. And so I just told Craw, you know, do whatever. Which maybe wasn't the best idea, because now, you know, not every room fits together as nicely as I would have liked. And that's no fault of Craw, of course. Because, you know, I told Craw, hey, you know, don't worry about it. I'll figure it out. But it's like, if I were to redo this, I would definitely have more strict guidelines on how I need the rooms to be. Like this, for instance. Craw used these kind of doors. And I was telling Craw, hey, you know, it's a very real possibility that this kind of thing would happen. And Craw said, well, hey, what I was going for with this was it's like a shelf of some kind, which, if Craw sees it, then fine. But I personally don't see it. I don't like it. Now, I'm not gonna like completely disregard all of Craw's work, because 1, it's fucking beautiful, and 2, I'd feel bad. And Craw, if you're watching, I don't want you to redo anything. But it's like, if I were to go over it now, I would be more strict. And that's not to say that I don't like how it turned out. I mean, I think this is fucking awesome. The vibes in here are incredible. And that's the thing. When coding this, you know, when Craw sent me all the rooms and I put them in the game, I was thinking to myself, I don't know how to feel about this. I don't know if I like this. Because Craw is a very different style than Chloe, and you know, I was used to Chloe's rooms, which are the original communal corridors, of course. And, you know, it's like, that's the vibe that I had from the communal corridors. It's a very bedroom-esque dimension, you know, calm, not much going on. And when Cross sent me all these beautiful rooms that you'd find, you know, on a server, it's like, they're a little too professional. At least that's what I thought. Again, no fault to Craw. I mean, fucking hell. But like, you know, it's how I felt. And, you know, when I put all these rooms together, it's like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. And here's the thing. I don't really play test my mods. I mean, I do play test them, but I don't, like, play them. You know, like, I go around and look for bugs, and that's about it, but I don't, like, walk around like I'm doing now, just experiencing the vibes, you know, which, I mean, is sort of counterintuitive, because the whole point of this mod is vibes, you know. I mean, that's my whole reason why this mod is so special to me. It's because I'm putting in the most effort into the atmosphere in these places. It's kind of ironic that I don't really experience them. But anyways, so, you know, I was saying, I don't know if I like this or not. And everyone in my server was like, yeah, no, this is awesome. I don't know what you're talking about. And so I gave them the benefit of the doubt. I said, all right, I'll bite. I will sincerely check them out. What was I talking about? Yeah, so, you know, I said I'll bite, I'll check out the rooms, and so I spent like half an hour walking around, just experiencing things, and I gotta say, worth it, because, oh, these are still broken. Because, I don't know, it's a very different vibe. I'll give myself that. It's different, but it's not entirely, you know, out of place. It's still calm, yet it's more chaotic, almost. Which, I know those are antonyms. I feel like everything I do is just conflicting feelings, which, I mean, it's what I'm the best at, conflicting emotions. You know, it's cluttered, yet I feel a sense of solemnness despite everything, which I think is a great vibe. Solemn. But no, yeah, it's like, oh yeah, there's a little secret that I added. I didn't tell anyone, I don't think, or at least not for a while, but if you look up, there are stars, and I think that's one of the coolest effects that I've done. They rotate. I forgot I did that. They very slightly rotate. I think there are 3 layers of stars, and they all fade in and out according to some Perlin noise. I think this is one of the most adorable effects that I've ever done. And that's sort of why I added the slabs. It's like, when rooms have a skylight like this, I want to reward people for taking the time to, you know, look up, you know, experience the mod. And so, you know, because if you're just looking out the windows, I mean, they're there, right? So you can't really avoid them. But if you're, you know, immersing yourself in the atmosphere and you actively take the time to look up, then you get rewarded with a pretty star show. So if we want to take a look at the behind the scenes of this, feel free to click off now if you don't want to spoil the immersion, I guess is the right word, because we're going to take a look behind the scenes. So, click off now. For those of you who are still here, this is what above the communal corridors looks like. So we haven't experienced all the rooms because, we've only been walking around for 20 minutes. So this is one of the rooms. It's big, it's tall, it's awesome. Here's one of the rooms that we saw. This room is awesome. It's hidden. There are hidden rooms. Whenever you see a painting, don't take it for granted. There might be something behind it. And so you'll go into this room, which has a little thing to an overworld painting, Cascade specifically. And above this room, it's fucking awesome. You're never gonna see this. You're not gonna go up here. If you do, then you see this and it's fucking awesome. What I love in games and liminal spaces is being able to see things that you can't go to. It's not like it's inaccessible. You can always build your way up there, but it's like, that's one of my favorite feelings. Is seeing something that's just like out of bounds, rather. This is one of the more laggy rooms because of all the plots, all the block entities it has to render, which is why you can see my frames dropping as this room loads. But this is one of the fucking awesomest rooms. I don't know how Craw made this. It's fucking awesome. Let's see. There's one room I'm trying to find. Generation in this dimension doesn't need to be very fast because you're not going to be zooming through like I am. You're going to be stuck down there in hallways and stuff. So I'm not too worried, here it is, about generation speeds. At least not yet. I have a relatively good computer. It's not like super fast, like super good, like, but it's, it's not bad. This is one of the greatest rooms ever. It's open. There's only one entrance. There's nothing in here. It's fucking awesome. Craw did such an amazing job. Yeah, so this is what's new in the communal corridors, and I'm really, really proud of the work that we've all done. I'm really happy with this. I think it's fucking awesome. And here, there's a little area. All of these are the, staircase rooms. Craw is currently working on building more of these because this is something that I did literally like last night. So, I said to Craw, hey, in my Discord server, we need more of these. And Craw was like, I'll make some. And so, we're going to get more of these. So it's not just the same room over and over again. We'll get some variety. We don't need a whole ton of variety since you'd only ever be seeing this room a few times. It's a relatively rare room in an already relatively rare area. And hallways are so dense, so even if something is common, and there's not always a path towards it, even if you're like right next to it, unless you're like fucking breaking through walls, but then that That spoils the fun, and that's your own damn fault. And lastly, before we go, there's one thing that I added that I showed off a little bit. It's the deep bookshelf. It's a 3D non-Euclidean magic. Goes back forever. I need to sprinkle these in all of the dimensions. Now, when Kra was building, this was before I had all this code working. And so he didn't have a block to use. And so now... And, it's like in some of the rooms with, this kind of block, with the chiseled bookshelf, that is. Because that's what it's referencing, rather. This wouldn't fit everywhere, so if I just replaced all of these with, the deep bookshelf, I feel like it's a little out of place, or at least in some areas it would be. Gotta say, this is fucking awesome. I'm so happy with that. It's so cool. But lastly, before I release the mod, I need to because in a chiseled bookshelf, you can put books into the thing. Now, currently, I don't have that done. What I want to do is, in a normal chiseled bookshelf, you have these books. What I want to do is have these books also go back forever. But that means I'm gonna have to like model all of these. I don't want to fucking do that. This shader, it's so complicated. Add that. But once those things are done, let's see, what is that? Add the deep bookshelf, and then yes, of course, fix lecterns. We did have one person at one point wanting to write a Corners Bible. I suggested a Bible because I was like, hey, is this supposed to be here? Yes. I was like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if in all of the lecterns there were just, the scribblings of a madman? And, somebody, I don't remember who they were, but somebody was like, hey, that's pretty cool. I'll write a Bible. But I don't remember who that was, and they haven't gotten back to me, so I have nothing to put in the lecterns. And I, of course, want there to be something. Like, I don't want them to just be empty. Anyways, I think that's all for this update. If you want to know what we have planned for... I guess technically it would be Corners 1.2.8, because we're not ready for 1.3.0 just yet. I think I might jump to 4.0 to signify, hey, we have 4 dimensions instead of 1.3.0 having 4 dimensions, because that it's counterintuitive, I think. So that's what's new. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah,